Hey there guys, Will Mitchell down here. Of course, I'm on the beautiful island of Ambergris Caye. It's another day in paradise. I'm sitting in the Mahogany Bay Hilton Curio, and after our last video came out, so many people asked me, what about the COVID-19 situation? What's happening with that right now, Will? So I wanted to get back with you guys here and make a second follow-up video because that's a whole other topic that I want to have a full video to discuss with you guys. So I'm going to go over why so many investors are looking at Belize during this time, why the market hasn't seen huge fluctuations, what it's like to live down here during a pandemic, and I can tell you firsthand it's been pretty amazing, but we'll get into that later. First, I just want to talk to you guys about why Belize has been so good at keeping the virus down to a minimum here. We went 50 days without a single case of COVID-19. That's not because they're doing anything that's that much more groundbreaking than other countries. Really, we win by default. We have the fourth lowest population density in the Western Hemisphere. So in terms of having these major municipalities where viruses can spread with ease, we're in more laid-back communities, and it's a different way of life where you just don't see that rapid spread, and there's way more of a ease of containing these type of things. So it just didn't spread. We had 18 cases, that was contained. We went down to 0 cases for over 50 days. There was a repatriation of bringing some citizens back into Belize. There was 1 contained quarantine case at this point, but overall, they've done a fantastic job of containing the situation. Another key reason why Belize is so great during times like this, as a country, Belize runs a surplus of food production. So when you look at the agricultural industry here, the average distance that a meal travels going from the farm to the table is about 10 miles. If you contrast that to the US, the average distance a meal travels going from the farm to the table is about 1,500 miles on average. It's a huge difference. We're fully sufficient in that food production, and there's no GMOs. One of the key reasons why is we have a large Mennonite population down here, and the Mennonites are responsible for the poultry, the agriculture. They ship a lot of those goods around the country, and it actually makes things extremely cost effective, and we don't have those GMOs and stuff, so it's a great place. And at the end of the day, something I've been doing just about every day down here when we're done work is going and casting a fishing line off the dock, catching a few fresh snapper and grilling it up with our guys and our families down here. So it's truly been a pleasure, and that's another reason why Belize is so popular. So let's talk about the financial standpoint and the real estate market down here, because most of you guys are interested in potentially relocating here or divesting away from stocks, bonds, or whatever asset classes you're invested in the US and Canada right now. A very interesting fact, and as the regional owner for RE/MAX in Belize, I oversee all 9 of our offices here. I get access to data that most people would not get access to. And the previous owner of the region, John Turley, told me about the 2008-2009 financial crisis. And I went to him and I said, John, what happened then? What was kind of the trend in 2008-2009? How bad was the market hit? And he shared with me some very interesting facts that in 2008-2009, the RE/MAX offices in the country of Belize did more transaction volume than they did in any years previous to that. They didn't see a slowing down of their transactions. In fact, they saw an uptick. Why is that? Well, during these times, like I mentioned, a lot of Americans and Canadians want to divest away from the US and Canada, and the RE/MAX offices in the country of Belize right now are doing a tremendous amount of transactions because people like yourselves want to get out of the current circumstances in the US and Canada. So very interesting fact with that. Again, there's a whole other benefit to being down here and investing down here. When you look at investing in a Disney stock, for example, that doesn't mean you get to go over to Disney and just say, let me on the rides or let me into the park and let me do this. When you own real estate down here, that's a tangible asset where you're going to not only see equity appreciation on your investment, you're also going to see cash flow returns. Then you have the tangible aspect of being able to bring your friends and family down to your place in Belize when you want, and you get to stay there, you get to go snorkel on the reef, you get to go do all these fun activities. So it's a very, very significant advantage as well. And again, most of the time, people look to these stocks, bonds, local real estate markets as a very safe investment. For a lot of people right now, they're reassessing. Even risk-averse people are saying, you know what? This is a time when I need to look away from the US, I need to look away from Canada. I need to find some new up-and-coming markets where, I have a safeguard if something like this happens. If there's a pandemic, I want to be able to get out and go down there and keep my family safe and enjoy myself. And on that note, I can tell you guys a little bit about what it's like being down here during this whole time. honestly, it's been a pleasure. I look up and I see the news and I see all these cases exploding. I see all of this stuff, and we have the situation contained. I get to go fishing every day. The climate is extremely stable and beautiful. We've had a little bit of rain, but overall I'm able to go out on the kayaks, go snorkeling. We've been able to put some pretty cool charitable stuff together with our RE/MAX offices, which has been an awesome pleasure for us. So we're really enjoying life down here, and the island life hasn't stopped. It's still the same island pace. We're traveling around, we're visiting the jungle, we're going horseback riding. I don't want to make everyone too jealous, but needless to say, it's probably been one of the best locations to be during times like this. So again, you have the advantage of being in an emerging market where there is safeguards during recessions and depressions, in that people look to divest away from where they're currently investing. And we're a key recipient of those. If you haven't seen our last video, a lot of the reasons why that is in that video. If you guys are interested in securing a property down here, learning more, chatting with one of our team members, just let me know. Reach out to me. I'm more than happy to chat with you guys. And aside from that, I'm hoping that when things open up, it's an open date. The government was waiting on some rapid testing kits. They're potentially looking to have people provide a test showing they're negative of COVID-19 within 72 or 48 hours of visiting Belize. But they're taking the necessary steps to get the economy open and get people coming back down here. So when that does happen, I hope to see you guys down here in paradise. Anyone interested in looking for a good deal, generally before things open up, the best deals are going to be happening, because savvy investors are looking to find deals while other people can't get down here. So if you're interested, shoot me an email, guys. My contact info will be below. And aside from that, keep following on with us and subscribe, and I look forward to hearing from all you guys.